I do want to say, I do say it wrong because in my Russian household, I learned it wrong.
Well, by the way, because if people are tuning in for that moment right there, how did you say
I think I said ABBA. I say
ABBA?
ABBA, and I know it's ABBA, and I fuck up all the time. And it's like, it's a childhood thing. It's a
Yes.
childhood thing for me.
I'm so excited right now
Me too.
because to talk to you about this because we're going to pull the curtain back on the show to all the listeners, all the Fleece Army that's been listening to the 500 for the 6 years we've been doing it. Here with my incredible guest. Well, you know what? First of all, gosh darn it, please tell us about the special, which is coming out very soon. Let's get that out of the way because it's so exciting and well deserved. So
Thank you.
please, go
Yeah,
ahead.
people have been really nice. It comes out January 28th on Netflix, a nice brand name. It's my first hour special. I've been doing stand up for 15 years, so I'm really fucking excited. And since this is a music podcast, I actually licensed a song by Muna. So I have a Muna song to start and finish the special, which felt cool.
You love pop music. Is Moon a pop? I'm assuming she's
Muna's more rock. They're three
Ooh.
lesbians, and
Nice. You got my attention. Interesting.
and two of them sing. Yeah, and but I would say pop, rock, punk. But they just like they've done the Greek. They sold out the Greek. Like they're at that. They opened for Taylor Swift. They're there.
Yeah, I think
In
you
the
told me about
level.
them.
Yeah, I really like them. They're fun. I've seen them twice. And
Lesbians?
and then the
They're
LA one
lesbians.
was star-studded. I mean, Kristen Stewart was there, Haley Kiyoko was like every lesbian you can imagine.
The big
Was
lesbians.
at
The
the show.
Samantha Ronson
Yeah.
2005 lesbian clique. They love their hit song "Scissor Me All Night Long." Come on and scissor me.
The song is What I Want. Where are you? Are you in a hotel?
Yeah, I'm in Minnesota. By the way, I'm doing the House of Comedy, and I've been on the road since December 15th. We did the Jam, we did Shimmy, I went to San Diego, did La Jolla, then I went to see my mom in Maryland, and now I'm in Minnesota. And guys, I really want to tell everybody this because I know this is so unimportant. We're going to get back to everything about ABBA, but if you have President's Circle at Hertz, okay? If you have, do you know what President's Circle is? So you sign up, you get like your rewards program, you rent with them, and if you have a certain amount of points and you have an American Express card, you get President's Circle, which means I pay $30 for the cheapest car, but I get to walk into this little section of the lot and pick out a car that's usually a nice SUV or a Mustang or a like a Chevy Challenger or a Charger. And there's sometimes some really good cars in there. But what I've come to realize, guys, and I'm giving this to all the fans, to you, and if you rent a car, if you have President Circle, you just need to bring any car to the checkout that has keys. And if you have the keys, they'll give it to you. I have a $90,000 Mercedes SUV right now for $30 a day. It has 8,000 miles on it. The dude did not. He just goes, all right, there you go. Blah, blah. They do not check. If
So
you
have you
have
been
the keys,
driving more? Have you
What do
been
you
like
mean?
riding around in the Mercedes
Oh,
more than
my-
you would normally drive a rental
Sweetheart,
car?
I went vintage shopping yesterday. I'm going to Prince's house. I'm going to get a Juicy Lucy. I might drive to Duluth. I don't even know how far away that is. I just have, the car is awesome. But I just, God bless it and the President's Circle. And I wanted to give you that as my Christmas gift to you. That if you rent from Hertz.
I'm not been a Hertz person, but I'm an American Express. I'm a Delta Diamond. So but I don't do hotel or car rental points.
Why not?
I'm only so
Not
good
enough.
at so many admin. You know what I mean? Like I'm one girl who just wanted to tell jokes and now I have to run an enterprise and I just can't do it.
I know,
Like
it's so hard.
the email, I didn't even remember to, it's just too much. It's just too much stuff, but I have like I have points, but I'm not as loyal in hotels and
Where do you stay when you go to LA though? Do you stay in a friend's house or you stay at the Andaz?
I stayed at the Andaz. I got an Airbnb once. I have stayed with friends or friends are out of town. It depends what kind of visit and what I need, but I do need alone time. And so like
Andaz. Andaz. Stay at the Andaz, and you get the points, and they take care of you. They take care of you, and especially because you're a Comedy Store person, you get the deal.
It's
And
a
I mean
good
it.
deal, but yeah, we'll see. I mean, we'll see who I stay with. Everyone has kids. It's just
Stop!
like it's
Don't. You're an adult. You have a Netflix special. You got the money.
I
We have the
know.
same cleaning lady. We have the same cleaning lady. She
She
tells me
talks
about
shit about me.
not at all. She does not talk shit about you.
Because
Does
one
she talk shit
time,
about me?
no, but one time she sent me, she walked into my apartment. I usually try to do it when I'm out of town.
Yeah.
And she sent me the blue face emoji screaming like the Home Alone boy. And I was like, okay, I guess I'm worse. I'm bad. But I
Really?
know that
You're
I'm
dirty?
clutter. I'm clutter. I'm clutter. I'm clutter. I'm telling you, I can't, like, that's how I grew up. I'm clutter.
Same. Same.
My
How often
sister's
you
clutter. My dad's clutter. We're all clutter. My mom's a clean girl. And we feel really bad for her.
those are the knickknacks are stuff that we just get as comics. I have so much bullshit that I collect over the years. And I think with Tony, our cleaning lady, I I have her come every
I
2
thought,
to 3
wait, is her
weeks at
name
the most.
Tony? I have her
Yeah.
saved as Lily. That
No,
sucks.
it's Tony. No wonder she's like, "Fuck this bitch." No, I think if they come more often, then it stays clean enough. The only thing is like my bathroom might get a little, it's just a normal bathroom mishmash, and I think everything else, like I don't really. My kitchen is whatever, and they just if they come enough and they come quick, there's not much to clean, and they don't talk shit. They do, kind of say like they do rank our apartments in size though.
I bet Mateo's winning.
He is, dude. They are on Mateo's nuts, dude. He must have an enormous place.
He
He does,
cleans
but I
really
think
good.
they do once. I bet he does once a week because every time she comes to mine, she's going to his after or
Really,
before. Yeah, always.
the
I mean, I'm
daughter.
sure this is riveting to everybody.
eh, Well, and then I'm gonna now, because we're pulling the curtain back. I've done the Hertz thing. We've talked about the cleaning lady. The From doing this show, Lise, like have we have episodes where we have diehard fans, like, and where the album and stuff is important to the person because they grew up with it and it is their favorite
Yeah,
band.
like when you didn't ask me to do the Red Hot Chili Peppers, even though I have a Red Hot Chili
I
Peppers
didn't know that.
tattoo, but then you
I
got
didn't
bitching.
know that. I didn't know that, and that was during the pandemic. And that's the thing, is the problem with this is that we have so much shit
Yeah,
out
and the
there
Backstreet Boys aren't going to be on this list, so
at all,
that's what's
not at all.
bad for me.
And you were when this came up, I actually bumped somebody off. JT, isn't that right? Like I bumped somebody. I was like, oh no, it's my homie. She's got the special coming out, and she's a huge fan. But sometimes we get albums and people to do something that they don't really know enough about, but we just need to fill it. And
That
like
was
that
me. I
was
did Jefferson
you.
Airplane.
Yeah, like it
But
was.
then it's like my phone fucking knew, and every time I had my phone on shuffle, it would give me a Jefferson Airplane song, and I'm like, I'm like, get this out of my life. Like,
It's not. It's
That's a
not.
bad rhythm.
Jay, Jeremiah, this is not an easy podcast to book. And the fact that we have done this, as long as we have, people are gonna, I mean, goddamn, Wayne Fetterman has done,
16.
16 episodes,
16
and this year alone, he's done fucking like 8 probably.
These are Alec Baldwin, SNL.
Yeah, I mean, and it's like especially if I go out with Jelly in March, he's probably gonna do 2 or 3 of those. So this is what I'm saying. We give you one, you come on and you do and you help us out. So when you come back, I feel like we got you for the record, because what I know about you is you love pop, and if there is a godfather and godmother of pop music, I think it all more than, I'm not talking about like the Beatles, that's rock and roll. I'm talking about the Britney Spears, you know what I mean? Like the shit that is taken over.
no, it started here because it started with ABBA because that's Swedish pop, and I feel like the Swedes have been producing pop since then, and so that is the birth of pop for sure. And for thinking about like our contemporary stuff, like it's just always come out of Sweden.
It's who's the big guy that
Max Martin,
Max
but
Martin.
it's trickled down. So that same studio, they're still doing all the pop people now, the Childish Gambino, like they're all the Swedes are all in it in that same studio, even if it's not like Max Martin specific, because I heard he's expensive to work with.
Oh yeah, I mean, 100%. But I mean, you're
I forgot
guaranteed.
what pop star was talking, but their label only paid for one song with him or two. He's a pricey guy.
Sure, but you're guaranteed a hit.
You're guaranteed a hit.
So that's what I'm talking about. Is like when a guy has a record like that. It's the dude Mutt Lang, the dude that did
Yeah.
Def Leppard. He did. I think it's he's Swedish too. I think he is. Will you check, Jay? Like I think there's something
Southern.
There's something about the
South Africa.
Swedish. He's South Africa. Okay, close enough. You know what I mean?
It's-
Still, yeah, dude, just blonde and fucking. There's something about, isn't it like eugenics? Don't like Swedish people like they kill off the weak.
Well, Netflix has a This Is Pop series, and I learned a lot in that. And what the Swedish culture, they said, is it's not about bragging and it's about doing the work. So it's like not a show off culture, but like a silent do your work culture. And so that cultivates maybe more work than like flashy. I don't know. Like that was their big thing, that they're not
Yeah.
in the flash and attention. They just want to do the work.
Well, what's funny is until this fucking morning when I looked over this stuff, I finally found out the names of the band and exactly what they looked like. You know, ABBA is just
You could see what are those holograms? The holographs are performing.
I saw that. They got back together in 2016, which I mean, I had heard that, you know,
That
'cause I was talking to Morty, my writer, one of my writers. I give Adam a shout out to. Adam gets everything together. Morty just kind of like gets me tight. And, you know, I remember a few years ago, wasn't there like a sheik that offered them $1 billion to go on a tour of like 30 cities? He was going to pay ABBA. Now I'm saying it. ABBA,
I know,
like $1 billion, and then I think they turned it down because of the, you know, don't forget, is like these are two couples. This is like the Swedish Fleetwood Mac. Like both of them were, you know, I'll figure out exactly who in a second, you know, when we really get into the nitty gritty. But both of them were married, and then they started this band. And should I go into the history right now, or I want to find out before we get into that? I want to find out, like, because you are first generation, right? American.
Yeah, well, I was born there, so I'm like half, but I was raised here. Yeah, I'm like I'm like the more American person in my family.
So besides Jefferson Airplane, which was just through your house nonstop as a kid, just everywhere you went, every room, you know, when the truth is fine. What is your relationship with ABBA? Like, you know, tell me.
So my brother was like fresh off the boat. He came a few years after us, and his wife and son, they had an apartment in the city. We lived in the burbs, and we would go over there. Like my parents would party, and I would like play with this other kid. And they would definitely drive drunk home too. But like I was just like forced to be at these parties, and my parents would get hammered and everyone would just dance to Ace of Base and ABBA. And then like other trashy thing, like the American music we gravitate towards sounds like Russian music. So I'm trying to think, I'll think of them as we go through, but like trashy kind of pop. I don't know what it's called. I wish I
like Euro.
Give me an example. Yeah.
I know it's like hard because I'm tone deaf and I'm like trying to think, but it's like
you tone deaf.
Oh yeah, I forgot the goddamn comedy jam of it all.
You're also what you lack in like vocal tonality and key.
Abracadabra, like that kind of music. Wanna reach out and grab ya, like that kind.
That's like, Steve Miller Band.
That's crazy to me. That's like trash because that like everyone was in white like denim and just getting drunk, and I was just like sitting in this apartment wanting to leave. But like Ace of Base and ABBA were everything to me. And Ace of Base, I had a VHS tape that I would watch of like the making of stuff, and that's what I think about them too. It's like everyone will get up and dance at a wedding to ABBA. Like even the youth, they love Dancing Queen. That was big on TikTok. My niece in 8th grade. She's in college now. They did Mamma Mia. Mamma Mia we saw as a family. Like, I just feel it's like transgenerational. Everyone gets down. And if you don't, and Muriel's Wedding, oh my God.
What
That
about Mira's
movie,
Wedding? They're
well,
in it?
no, but like she dresses as that, like their music is the whole Australia loves ABBA too. So it's like Waterloo's in that movie. You have to be like all the whole discography,
Well,
like so many songs. And that movie was everything to me. And so it just like kind of appeals to everyone. And if you're not into it or it doesn't get you jolly, it's you because everyone gets it. It's
everyone.
just fun. It's fun.
It's very fun. This was a very, very easy listen. This was not one of those records that I put on and I have to slug through. Like every song made me feel good. Every song I could work out to it. I could, just chill around the house. There's something in the DNA of ABBA that
Even the
that
sad
is.
songs. Even
Say
the
what?
sad songs. The sad songs are still really good and poppy.
Oh my
Like
God.
Fernando, is that one sad? What are the sad ones?
Yes, Fernando's sad. Well, as they started to,
knowing. I mean, every single name of a song is like a fun thing to sing in it. Like it's just,
yeah,
it's fun.
So
on me. Yeah.
What's
good.
great about this is the record that we're doing. So let me just pull it up.
I can't believe we were listening to Steve Miller Band. I am like,
wait, what's wrong with Steve Miller Band? Steve Miller Band rules.
I know. That's why it's shocking we were listening to it. Like my childhood was Russian music, and the biggest stars of Russia would come and play in a high school. And so we would go see them in high schools in Chicago, or like sometimes we'd go to the Area Crown Theater, but like they were just in kind of small dinky venues, but they were like huge stars.
Hello, Martin Luther King Middle School. It is me, Nikolai Krechky, your biggest #1 hit from Radio Disco. I am here to perform my #1 song.
Yeah.
In Koplakistan.
It was Mather High School. That's where we went the most to see these concerts, Mather High School. But like, yeah, it all is just so like, and our Russian restaurant banquet parties, like ABBA's just easy, fun dance. I don't know, love it.
This is their compilation, the definitive collection. This came out November 2nd, 2001. This spans their entire career and in order from 1972 to 1982. Let's talk about how they got together. JT, is there a perfect thing? I guess the overview. So they form in Stockholm in 1972. I'm gonna fuck these names up. So Agnetha Falskog, sure. Bjorn Uvula, Olveus, Penny Anderson. That's the easy one. Yeah. Watch that be like, it's actually your son. Yeah. And then Annie Frid Lingstad. So the earlier singers such as blah 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 blah. Where is it?
Whoa!
Hold on, wait.
They won Eurovision. That's fucking cool.
So before we even get into that, I wanna just give me and whoever's editing this, try to clean this part up.
This is like the craziest podcast episode I've ever recorded.
It's not that great. What are you talking about, dude? This is called editing, dude. I'm pulling the curtain back. All right, so it starts with Bjorn. It starts with Bjorn. Bjorn began his musical career at 18 when he fronted the Hootenanny Singers, a popular Swedish folk skiffle group. The Hootenanny Singers and the Hep Stars sometimes crossed paths while touring. Stig Anderson was the manager of the Hootenanny Singers and founded the Polar music label. And then in 1966, Ulvaeus and Benny Andersson decided to write a song together. Their first attempt was called Isn't It Easy to Say, a song that was later recorded by the Hep Stars. Stig saw the potential in the collaboration and encouraged them to write more. Benny was a member of the Hep Stars, known as the Swedish Beatles. So, okay, to buy me a love. And everybody get, and that's not a good one. All right. Anderson played the keyboard and eventually started writing original songs for his band. Many of them became major hits. He submitted blah, blah, blah. Where is the thing? So they kept submitting to Eurovision and didn't win the song, but they got one. They got second place. Anderson briefly met his future spouse, singer Annie Frid Lingstad, who participated in the contest. A month later, the two had become a couple, and they started singing with the girl started singing at the age of 13 with different bands. They're doing jazz. She's already a singer in her country. Okay, I see it. It's coming together. Benny started to produce her recordings in 71. He started seeing that they are really gelling. At an attempt at combining the talents of these two different groups in April of 70, they met. They all go on a holiday together on the island of Cyprus, probably, drank, had sex. That's not in my notes. I'm just guessing. What started as singing for fun on the beach, yep, I was right, ended up an improvised live performance in front of the United Nations soldiers stationed on the island. Anderson, Ulvaeus were at this time recording their first album together. So they are vibing. They understand that they got something special here. Who's somebody that you like realized immediately? You're like, oh my God, like, because I had me and Angelo Bowers, like we met, we were like, oh yeah, we should be working together. Who's somebody that is like your uvula?
I don't really have that. I feel like I've worked with people and it's usually ended in disaster. But I like my best friend.
Who's your best friend?
My best friend's Julia. She's a gal, but she works at higher education. She works at NYU, but she's incredible and she was a producer on my special that's coming out. But it's funny, I didn't think about this at all, but then at the holiday party of the producers I worked with,
Yeah.
they were like, yeah, that's the first thing you said at the meeting. They're like, if we're working together, my best friend's producing. We were like, oh, great. Like some best friend's going to be there. And I didn't even think, like, of course they were probably nervous, but my bestie is like the most capable, amazing, like communicator, doer, problem solver, like in an incredible way. Yeah, patience, can read people, like just so good at that. And I hope we get to like work together in the future,
Oh yeah, dude, go to the island of Cyprus and perform some
But
stand up.
this is not about, but we were talking, so she's 40 and it's like you could like she didn't get paid, like she was an intern. It's hard to just start a new career unless you're a rich kid, right?
Sure.
Like that's why all the agents, assistants, and the PAs and everyone usually comes from money. It's like even if you love doing something, if you need to work for a living, it's hard to suddenly get into like production. And so it's cool to like
Oh
have
yeah.
someone try do something that I know they'd be good at. She has a master's degree, but wouldn't have the opportunity because you have to like live. Because when I was
Sure.
in Finland, if you want to do a career change, you can go to college and like do that. Well, I think a right winger just won there too, so their lives might be worse soon. But like, I met someone, their wife had a career for 40 years and was like, I want to do something else, and the government just pays for it, and she got to like go to school and change careers.
Dude, why do we suck? Like, why is America so hard to do anything? You know what I mean? It's like, yes, we
Well,
have the
I mean,
pretend. You know what I mean?
how far do you want to get? It's the
No,
Puritans, honey. It's the
yeah.
Puritans. They started it, and it's been like this fucking weird, individualistic work to get closer to God. If something's bad, you deserve it. It's like fucked up. The core of our country is just like bad.
These two couples start working together, and they write this song. It peaks at number 17 in Sweden. And then in 73, Stig Anderson decided to have another try at this big festival to try to win like you said, the Eurovision. And he comes up with the song Ring Ring. And from that's how. Say what?
This is the time they got their name too. The manager Stig, tired of all the different names or whatever, turned it into the acronym of the first names.
Oh my God, it's an acronym.
Or a palindrome even, yeah. Same
But
back.
But they
and
win.
Let's cut to the chase. I need to know, did they all stay together romantically? Were they fighting? What was the vibe through the years? I need to know.
That's later. Yes. Obviously it wasn't good because in 82 it ends, and I mean, could you imagine what that would be like? I mean, look at Fleetwood Mac. Like Fleetwood Mac, was built on two couples and then a rhythm section. And that kind of tension, like they're not to shortchange the women at all. The guys in the group who are like some of the main writers, like all of these people are super talented, but it's like the dudes you know, working with their wives who are basically now the front and the you know, it's really, I think, also like both two gorgeous women, you know, and are the face and the voice. It's just, you know, could you imagine, you ever worked with somebody you're dating?
No.
You've never worked with somebody you're dating?
No.
Have you ever dated a comic and then you have to see them regularly?
After? No.
No. So yeah, I mean, could you imagine like being on tour with you know, an ex-boyfriend or an ex-husband?
I mean, Stevie Nicks wrote the songs too, right?
Well, Lindsay wrote a lot of them. Lindsay and Stevie wrote them. So they Lindsay and Stevie were a couple. It was so funny. We just did Fleetwood Mac, and Lindsay, they wanted Lindsay and not Stevie, but Lindsay was like, if I'm gonna join this group, he's like, I got to bring my wife. And then on the record that they bring her on, two of her biggest songs, Rhiannon and what's the other one? And I've been
Landslide.
thank you. But basically they win this Eurovision. Like, how big is Eurovision? Like, is it?
I don't think Fleetwood Mac we would even know who they were without Stevie Nicks.
I think. Look, I think
he would be
I think-
writing. He would be a writer that maybe music dorks would know about, and there is no way they would be anything huge without Stevie Nicks.
Well, they had been a band for many years before that, and they were you know, successful.
We would not be talking about them.
But definitely Stevie Nicks is Stevie Nicks. I've seen her live twice, and even in her 70s, she's still an incredible performer.
Yeah.
And I think, like, you know, what a lucky surprise for them to get one thing, and then you turn into having, you know, arguably one of the most, you know, influential singers in music.
Yeah, it's really wild because, you know, we're like, you know, working creatively is different. I have so many friends that work in offices that hate their coworkers, right? But that's like a form of life. Like, you just have to work with people that you don't like.
Sure.
But for some reason, with a creative space, you can't ignore, like, it does take it to the next level. You know, they have to deal with these people all the time in offices. I try not to get like bogged down, but if I hate someone, like, I don't want to work with them. And it's really immature, but I get to do whatever I want, but because I'm a stand-up.
Sure.
But it is like, you have to create and be on the road and live with it. Is just it's so much different than just not liking a coworker or a boss. It's really wild.
It is very wild. I mean, I've never dated somebody and worked with them. And I think, you know, even like a comic, like, I haven't hooked up with a comic since like my first few years of stand up, because it's just too much. Now imagine writing some of the biggest songs in the history of music, and then, because that's what basically Jer, can you look to find out why they broke up while I talk about why they blew up? Okay, so find out like all the problems of why they broke up. So in '74, ABBA is the first winner of the Eurovision Song Contest, and what's so crazy is that in America it is nothing. But around the world, the Eurovision Song Contest is it's the biggest thing.
Why do you think that is? Like, why do you think America doesn't want to be a part of it?
That's a good question.
Well, it's like the Olympics, isn't it? It's like each country sends like one pop, whatever band. And
I know a group of gay dudes that went.
They went
year,
or they
and
won?
They're gonna go. No, they went. Like, it was their trip. Like, they went on a fun trip to Eurovision.
And like, that was what they wanted to do. They were like, we're such huge fans of this. Like, let's
they're wealthy. They get to do whatever they want.
Yeah.
Like, he's a neurologist who works. He's 7 days on, 7 days off, and his husband has an Aston Martin, so they get to go to Eurovision.
Sure. I wonder, and this is another thing. No, that's what you do.
Because I think I might have framed it as like, this was their one vacation of the year, and they saved up, and they love Eurovision. It's just like, they're gay and fun and rich.
Have you done something like that? Like, traveled, like, to go?
I just saw Taylor Swift
in London, right?
In Toronto, but
in Toronto.
I'm a fool. I waited to like experience it with my best friend and like be there together. If I knew how much I would have loved it, I would have started going months ago and have gone to at least 3. Like, I wish I had gone to a few more.
Isn't it
Sure.
cheaper internationally? Is that what I
What?
heard? It's cheaper to go somewhere else, a different country.
Well,
Um,
exchange rate.
yeah, there's more like anti-gouging laws, I guess, in Europe. And yeah, it just wasn't as crazy maybe, but I did not save any money going to Toronto in any capacity.
I know, and Toronto is like when you go to Canada. Like anytime I headline there, I always take my openers out for dinner, and I buy all this stuff. And they're like, "I can't believe you're just so generous." I'm like, "It's not real. The money is it's 30% off. Like it doesn't feel like I'm spending anything."
Oh,
And
I don't do math. I just I kind of treat everything like it is what it is, whether it's
yeah,
more or less. I'm like, if I want it, but Toronto is the best and the concert is the best. But yeah, I've done that. I've definitely traveled, but I've traveled for concerts. I'm trying to and friends, but I'm trying to think if there's other events I've traveled for. I would go to
I'm
the
going.
Olympics.
I'm
I
going to
like
see.
events.
I'm going to see Oasis in England.
Of course
So
you
that's
are.
but
Or
that's
did
gonna
you do
like
Ticketmaster resale or did you
yep.
ask for a favor?
I got ticket. I got online and I got in the
Good for you.
queue and I got them for cheap. I got 4 tickets and so we're gonna go to 2 shows, but we got 1 for sure. Yeah, the idea of traveling, I get it. And Eurovision is just this enormous thing, and so I wonder if ABBA is the biggest group because I think the song that won is I think it was just voted as the best song in the competition's history as part of the 50th anniversary. So the
Yeah,
two married
it's the most successful.
as the 2 married couples are Falskog and Ulvaeus and Linkstad and Anderson. So the first record, is big, but it's really when you start getting into the meat and potatoes of this, which is like there's a run on this record from like Waterloo, I would say down to goddamn just to the end of the first record, which is just some of the biggest. I mean, it's insane, dude. Like you're talking about you're talking about 30 or 300 million records sold possibly. They're one
How
among some
many?
of the so this is what's crazy. It says this is what I love about when they say about record sales. It's between 150 million to 385 million sold worldwide. The group are ranked 3rd best selling singles artist in the UK with a total of 11.3 million singles. And they were awarded the Brit Billion Award, which surpassed the milestone of 1 billion UK streams in their career. The first group from a non-English speaking country to achieve consistent success in the charts in UK, Australia, United States, Ireland, Canada, New Zealand. They're the biggest selling Swedish band of all time. The best selling band originating in continental Europe. 8 consecutive #1 albums in the UK.
Wow.
You know, there's something I'm telling you, like they're big here. If you can get the rest of the world, that's where the money is. Being big in America is what, dude. There's artists that are like look at like Robbie Williams. Like
I know,
Robbie,
but you know they're pissed they're not huge in America. Like
Oh yeah.
Kylie Minogue will not rest until she is #1 in America. Like she does not. I think the people that are huge everywhere else have a chip on their shoulder. Even giant stars. Like I've seen an interview where Pink is like, "Yeah, the US doesn't like me as much as the rest of the world." And I'm like, "You're Pink. What are you talking about?" But there is a weird thing. People don't
who
like it.
is who do you think is the biggest person that's not big in America? Like who would you say? Like who's somebody?
I guess
Because I mean,
Kai, like, I don't know. You're asking me too much. I have no idea.
that broke your brain. That was it.
Well, the Spice Girls, but they were huge here. They're just
The
like
Spice Girls
bigger in the
were in
UK.
America. I
Yeah,
think they were
they were
just as big
everywhere.
here as they were. I think ABBA might be the biggest band in the world that wasn't, and they were huge here, but not on the scale that they were everywhere else. I mean, to
You
the
don't
point
think
where
they would
somebody,
play arenas or stadiums here? They would.
yes, but I don't think, I think they could do if
Did
they
they
went and
reach
did it.
#1 in the charts ever here? Yeah, right? Or no?
Yes, Jeremiah, if you can find that because I don't have it in front of me. I think that they were. obviously, it says, well, in the UK, it says 8 consecutive number ones. They were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Dancing Queen inducted into the Recordings Academy's Grammy Hall of Fame. Library of Congress included the album Arrival in the National Recording Registry. I mean, dude, think about some of the songs that are on this album, and like, if you were DJing a party, right, a disco party, let's say, you could do the whole show on just ABBA. ABBA, maybe Casey and the Sunshine Band, Chic.
It honestly doesn't matter like what night it is or what the theme is. If you put ABBA in like a mix, like if you just drop it, or what's it, like a mash up,
Yeah,
in
mash up.
in any kind of party, I think people would be pumped.
I agree. And I think it all starts, if you're going to talk about it, like we were talking Waterloo.
And it doesn't have the corniness, because the other songs I think about like that, I think about like Journey, right? Like Don't Stop, like people like hearing Journey, but there is a corniness to it where if it wouldn't hit in every room. But I do feel like Dancing Queen would hit in every single room, even a goth room.
Completely. I'm a Mamma Mia guy. I want to do Mamma Mia at the goddamn Comedy Jam, and I really want to turn it into like a rock song. Like, I've been trying to do that for a while. If you listen to it, it's such a like boom, bang, boom, bang, boom, bang, 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 I'm on looking, I can tell everything.
Oh, it's that. So just do it.
We're going to. We'll do it at Moon Tower this year.
I'll be there. I
Will
think
you?
I want to try to. Yeah, I'm gonna try to do Blank Space again. I think I really want to redeem myself.
What are you talking about?
But I showed you how hard I tried and worked on doing Blank Space. I think about it all the time. And then I was at a birthday karaoke a few weeks ago and I did it.
Yeah.
And people were like, "You sounded new, like you didn't even know the song." I'm like, if you only knew how hard
you worked at this,
practice this song. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. I want you to do that.
Okay.
My niece in her school musical played the slut. She played Rosie. So she's saying, a man. What is it? What's that song? Or is it? Hold on. Cut this. Never mind.
No, we're gonna be. Don't worry.
Gimme. It was Gimme, Gimme, Gimme.
Oh, that's the best song, honestly.
That's the one she got to. That was her solo.
Gimme, Gimme, Gimme. That's the one with. That's the Madonna song, Hung Up, which is one of my favorite Madonna songs.
Take a chance on me.
Is it? I don't think it's Take a Chance. Hold on.
I'm talking about my niece. I'm only my niece. Yeah. She did Take a Chance on Me, but I thought she was in a sluttier one. Maybe she sang more, but whatever.
Gimme.
What is it?
Slutty. That's
what?
Gimme is pretty slutty.
So she must have sang that one. Yeah, she was like the slut of the show.
What is it that makes ABBA so great? Is it because I don't think it's the image. I don't think there's nothing. They're not like, I mean, they're attractive people, but they're not like these sex symbols. I think it's strictly the music.
Well, people didn't have to be as hot, I think, back in the day too.
You don't think so?
You could have just been like, yeah, like I don't think no one would have given the Beatles a deal. Are you out of your mind?
I think Paul and John.
They're not hot enough. People are just hotter now, like that are famous. It's just I don't know what to tell you.
Well, so if we have to say, so it's strictly the music then? The music is what adds to their popularity.
And they're singular. Like I don't know music that well, but like I don't know another band that sounds like this. There's no one that sounds like this to me. Like they're unique. Like I can't compare them to anything else. Like most rock bands or pop groups, you can kind of compare to each other, but they're really a singular group.
It says ABBA were perfectionists.
I wish I know music words, but it's not the
no.
The melody. The songs are awesome.
Yeah, but it's because they're perfectionists in the studio, working on tracks until they got them right, rather than leaving them to come back to later. The band created a basic rhythm track with a drummer, guitarist, and bass, and overlaid other arrangements and instruments. Vocals were then added. The orchestra overdubs were usually left until last.
You know what I'm doing today?
What's that?
I'm about to charge my phone, get dressed, and take a fucking 10,000 step walk while listening to ABBA. Like that is what I'm doing. Honestly, I'm like I want to listen to the songs so bad right now.
Yeah, It's this is like perfect music just to have on, regardless of what mood you're in. Um,
Have you seen Muriel's Wedding? Was that like a movie for you?
no, I
Muriel.
remember it though, but I remember it. I remember when it came out.
It's what started Toni Collette. I feel like you should watch it.
I love Toni Collette.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
her. It's like what broke her out to come to America.
And then she did Sixth Sense, which then just took
No, like
her.
5 years later.
Yeah, but that's what made her like, dude. Sixth Sense was huge, man. That was huge.
No. I get what you're saying. I'm just like that's what
It
got
made
her
it.
to
Yes,
America.
sure. It got her known, and that, but that's what got her the audition for Sixth Sense, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She's
yeah,
like
yeah.
so good. But that movie is like so good and Australian and dark. It's dark, but because of the music, you think it's fun and pumped because it's all ABBA, but it's like dark.
Yeah. But here's the
I
thing: is
want you to
that
watch it.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it. Fake Sklag and Lingstad contributed ideas at the studio stage. Anderson and Ulvaeus played them the backing tracks, and they made comments and suggestions. According to Fate Skog, she and Lingstad had the final say in how the lyrics were shaped. She stated, "When we gather around the piano to get our vocals turned up, we often come up with things we can use in the backing vocals. After vocals and overdubs are done, the band took up to 5 days to mix the song." Are you closer to being a perfectionist, or do you just move on to the next thing once you're like happy with it?
Oh, I'm not a. I'm a rough around the edges kind of gal.
Yeah,
Not a perfectionist in any capacity.
at all.
No, everything's always just a little off.
Do you have like, so if you, I know you go up and
I'll
you
put
work
it
it on.
out. I don't care if there's
Yeah,
a spell. Like I just like, well, for jokes, I feel like sometimes they're short, quick, easy. If they work, I'm like, great, we're done. And then some like take a decade to figure out or the pieces. I mean, I didn't put out an hour for 15 years, but I also when I recorded the two shows, I didn't write a set list. They were both different. And I like perform how I perform.
I love that. I love
Chill.
that. It was so great. I watched the second performance and it was so great. I'm so
Oh
excited to see how
wow,
this turns
thanks.
out. Let's talk Waterloo.
Are you a perfectionist? I just like
Me? No, not at all. I am.
nah.
I. You know,
I'll talk
it's
shit.
depending on what it is. Depending on what it is, that might be something that I'm like. If it's like a film or something that I'm really like spending time on and money on, yes. But I think when it comes to like stand up, it's just I'm like with you.
I
I
like
just
to
want
be
to go up and
prepared. Like if I'm on
sure.
set, if I'm talking acting, like I want to be as prepared as possible. But I don't think that's perfectionism. I think that's just like preparedness.
No, I completely agree.
Yeah.
Waterloo. Let's
Wait,
talk the first.
I
The
want
right.
to talk shit. I'll tell you the name later, but
Okay,
there
go
was
ahead,
just someone
please.
at the cellar. It's like they were just going crazy. They were like, why are you doing this if it's not to be the best? I want to be on the Mount Rushmore of comedy. If I don't kill the way I'm supposed to kill, my night is like just going crazy. He's like, Michael Jordan didn't have friends. You work hard, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, I would just rather be Shaq, like
Just fucking dunk on people, have natural
he
talent,
still
and
has the rings. He still is a champion. He works hard, but he has a good time and he misses free throws, and it is okay. And I would rather be that. I do not need a Mamba mentality in my life.
yeah, I mean that takes all the fun out of it.
Michael Jordan got his dad murdered, allegedly. I don't
Allegedly,
know.
I
I just
mean,
would rather be Shaq. I'd rather be chill, but obviously perfectionism works when this is what you get, or like thinking about the Beyonce like halftime perform like the Christmas performance, like
yeah,
perfectionism is lovely to watch and hear and and see. And like I bet Quentin Tarantino, like I put him in that. And so I like
mhm.
to take that in, but that's not the life I want to live.
Completely. And sometimes it works out. Being a perfectionist works out in the advantage because I think you can hear it in the music of ABBA. I think you can hear the attention to detail because it's every song is almost feels like it has a bow on it. It's so perfect. Coming on with Waterloo, which is it was originally recorded in Swedish. It was ABBA's Swedish version that won the Eurovision Song Contest, giving the band that huge career boost. The single spent 12 weeks on the French charts, peaking at number 3 in Belgium, where the Battle of Waterloo took place. The song spent 5 weeks at number 1. Talking about a defeat in the Battle of 1815. They took a song titled after a Napoleon War and fucking it's so catchy.
Yeah, yeah, It's
How do
very
you make
Taylor
that pop?
Swift.
Yeah.
Let's see what else. I'm just trying to get to some of the hits, and I think
And
unless
even with like Wicked, I mean, we'll see. I do want Wicked to break every record. But Mamma Mia is still the record holder of like biggest grossing movie musical of all time. Still. But Wicked
I need
just
to
came
see
out,
that. I need to see. I saw Wicked, and I think Wicked one. Part one, I don't. Part two is like I saw the play or the musical in Broadway, and I was like, the whole first act is like the meat. That's the best part. The second act,
Well, the songs will be good. I mean, it's gonna be good. When I heard it was gonna be split into two, I was pissed, and then when I saw it, it was like, there's no way it could have been one movie. Like, in no way, shape, or form.
Ariana Grande, she is so funny. Like
Yeah.
really funny, really funny. But also that's the thing is that she looks like she's 8 years old. And it's like like Pete dated her. You're like, Jesus, great. She looked so young. And she's like 30,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
Good God, man. Loved it. I think my nieces loved it. I think the best musical still is Chicago.
Me too.
Chicago,
Chicago's my
yeah.
number one favorite.
Chicago is 80 minutes of pure joy.
Well, because I just saw Chicago on Broadway for the
Me
first
too.
time with Ariana Madix from Vanderpump Rules.
Me too.
Oh my God. So it was my birthday surprise. My friends got me tickets and we went, but it's tough because the movie is so good. So nothing compared. Like it was hard.
Nothing.
I was happy to be there. I loved, but it was like,
Yeah.
the movie
It felt dated, didn't it? Didn't it feel like you're like, dude,
well,
I get it. Like beef
they
it up a
seemed
little bit.
they all seemed a little dead behind the eyes. They are clocking into their day job. It was
Yeah.
very like, I've been here for 15 years and here, even like, like people that were vocally fine, there just was like
Yeah. Oh my
a
God.
deadness.
I love that you or me are right fucking here about it. Because I think the movie is so good. I
It's
mean,
good.
it's
I reference it all the time. I think about it all the time. Yeah.
I've talked about it many times on the podcast. I think musicals for me go Chicago and then Rocky Horror Picture Show.
See, I've
And I've
never
never
seen
seen
that. I've never seen that.
really?
It's
So
crazy. Yeah,
good.
I know. I know. It's
Watch it.
fucked.
Watch it. You watch that. I'll listen to Phenomena. What is that band you like?
Oh,
Ma-
Muna.
Muna. Yeah, I'll listen to Moon.
No, watch Muriel's Wedding.
All right, done. I'll watch Muriel's Wedding and then we'll report back
Muriel.
at the cellar when I get back. And then also can't wait to hear who you was talking shit off air. Join the
I know.
Patreon and we'll give you the uncut
It's gonna be even more embarrassing when you hear who is talking like this.
because of them.
Yeah, it's
Of
just like
who?
they're so detached from reality.
Okay, yeah. I mean, there's a few people like that. You're like I'm gonna be the biggest comic alive, and you're like,
Oh, I could chat it. I could chat it.
yeah. Hold on, let me see who is it. Oh my God.
She's
Yeah.
like, if I'm not doing this to be in the in the Mount Rushmore of comedy, I'm like, oh, you're out of your mind.
Cuckoo. It's like
I'm
fucking
like,
long
even
legs.
the
Cuckoo.
people that have been in the Mount Rushmore are now off because they're old and not doing good. Thank God, Patrice is dead, so he could stay up there. He would have been bad now too.
Yeah. Do you think that's why? Do you think
People are
that's
gonna
no?
come for me.
Oh no! I want to bring this back to ABBA. Do you think that's why we talk about them as such? We put them on this Mount Rushmore of pop music because they ended before they got stale. It's the same shit I always say about Nirvana. Like Nirvana ended. There's only 3 records with Nirvana. And I mean, it's 72 through 82. That's 10 years. And I mean, the output that they put in. I mean, we've just mentioned one of the hits. I mean, dude. Mamma Mia, Fernando, like
SOS.
SOS. But do you think that's we talk about them on this high, put them on the Mount Rushmore of pop music because the career ended before it could have gotten shitty? Because I don't think they
Well,
did anything
maybe they
shitty.
kept being perfectionists because this is fucked because I think it's like there's a lot of sexism to it. But when you were talking, I definitely was like, I wonder if Madonna stopped after like hung up,
I think Madonna, is still her and Janet. They're still in the conversation of not conversation. They are in the Mount Rushmore of pop singers,
Yeah.
male or female. But I think,
But I'm talking about embarrassing moments and sliding
sure,
down
Madonna, and that's what I was going to
like
get to.
that.
No,
Not that they're not the best, but like,
I was going to get to that. Is that Madonna is what I love about Janet is that Janet is a 57-year-old woman up there, and she looks great. She's
Yeah.
killing it. She's showing she's her age. You know what I mean? Madonna is damn near 70 and she's still acting like she's like 25.
Did you
And
see
I
the
think
video of her yelling at someone to get up and then they were in a wheelchair?
Oh shit!
no, but find that. Find that. I love it. Let's talk about I want to knock a couple of these songs out so we can
What
we can
band is still
ahead.
around creating stuff that never slid that's always up there?
That's
Because
good
a lot of the
question.
bands that are still out are they're like or Billy Joel, you love seeing, like, they're doing the hits, they're
Love 'em.
not doing new stuff.
No, not at all.
Like, when do you
Who
get to
is
like, who's still, like, making stuff old that's new?
that's so who's relevant? Because like the Stones put out a new record and it's not bad, and Pearl Jam put out a new record, but it's not like a huge hit. It's almost I don't know, like who is really been around for a while. I
It's
mean,
not the same, but even
what's a
younger
while?
bands. Because I saw Incubus last year, and they played Morning View, and then afterwards, they're like, "Well, that was Morning View, and now we'll play the hits." And then they played every song you could want as a fan, and then they left.
The guest of the podcast, Brandon Boyd.
There you
He was a
go.
guest.
Good. He was we did Jeff Buckley.
That's crazy.
He was such a dude. We've had thanks to fucking Emily, our booker, man. We've had
Killing it.
incredible people on this podcast,
Yeah,
including
Brandon Boyd on.
you.
Yeah.
You were my bugging. No, I don't. Coldplay. Like, what is something that is like? How is like when you talk about like old? Like how
Because even
far back?
Gaga's fit, but they're all young. Like all the music I listen to, they've been putting out music for maybe 15, 20 years, but it's like they're all still young. Like I don't know old people that are putting out new things that
Are
are
relevant.
hitting huge relevant.
big numbers.
Yeah. So I wonder if that's even possible.
I would like to know. I would like you
But
mentioned.
with comedy, it's different. With music, it's like you could slide a little play hit. Oh, Van Morrison, he's gone off the deep. Not Van. Yeah, no, yeah.
I mean, Van Morrison. I don't think he's made a new record
No,
in
who's
many years.
who's an old guy who's kind of gone crazy and only plays new stuff and won't play a hit? And my friends went on their anniversary.
Who Morrissey?
No, not Morrissey.
No.
Oh my god.
Morty's going to see him. I don't know who's older guy that won't play his.
He
Sting?
Won't play his.
Sting, like
No, Sting. I just saw Sting live at the Brooklyn Paramount, and he played everything you wanted to hear. Everything. I don't know.
Sounds like Van Morrison, but isn't.
Radiohead don't play Creep.
No, it's
Yeah,
just
they do.
one
I saw
angry
them play
man.
Creep. One angry man.
Yeah,
There's somebody
let
right
me
now
text
listening to this podcast, like screaming, like it's fucking.
Eric Clapton.
Whoa.
Eric
Oh,
There
Clapton.
you
that's-
go. It's not. No, Eric Clapton is. I saw him live, and he does not play the hits. He really sucked live. He really was.
There
He
you go.
wasn't terrible, but he just was. You want like play, lay down, Sally. Boom, boom. He didn't play any of that shit. All right, Mamma Mia. Let's talk about this. Mamma Mia. You said this is one of the
I'm just
biggest
saying the
musicals.
question you posed if they would be bad or not. We don't have an example of someone who's achieved what you're saying.
Yeah. No, we don't. But
So it's they stopped making music. Okay, there, he just ha-ha'd it. Type the answer. What are you ha-ha'ing this for?
Well, for Gimme Gimme Gimme, just the Madonna story is actually pretty good for getting the sample for her song Hung Up. She begged ABBA songwriters for permission to sample the song and sent an emissary to Stockholm telling them how
It was Van Morrison at the Greek.
Oh wow.
And they said he would not play one hit. He was
Brown-Eyed
not
Girl?
nice. He played only new music, was crotchety, and left. And that everyone was like, okay, we just spent so much. Like everyone was, and then they forgot. They were like, fuck. But yeah.
I'm checking.
I heard he's a dick. Like he's really not.
Oh, so have I. Yeah, I'm checking the set list at the Greek Theater. Oh wow. Oh my god. Dude, I'm literally looking. Was this all a cover thing? Dude, he's not playing Brown-Eyed Girl, Into the Mystic. He's playing nothing. He's playing.
Is that him?
No.
Who's that?
Dancing in the moonlight.
Yeah, who's that?
Everybody's.
Is that not Van Morrison?
No, that is. I don't know who the fuck that is, but that song. That's a
Like
bar mitzvah wedding.
I love Caravan.
Dancing in the moonlight. No,
You're gonna
I'm
get
looking at the
hate mail with me as a guest.
no, they love this,
Well,
and I'm
is he
telling you right
dancing in the
now.
moonlight? There's a moon song, Moon Dance.
Oh,
Is there
when
not a moon?
I can dance in the mall moonlight among you, but my love. That's Van Morrison. He did not
Yes.
play that. If
Okay, but
dude, if
that's a moonlight? Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
He's
Moondance.
terrible set list. I mean, ABBA, I looked over their set list from their 2016
Moon Dance, Moon
what do
Dance.
you call it, hologram tour, and which is actually really cool that they did that. So I guess what they did was they recorded one show with these, like, I mean, they spent over $150 million on the technology, but they recorded their whole concert with these things and then played these huge venues, and the holograms performed,
I
and
knew
then they
people that went.
collected all the money. What
Yeah.
did they say about it? They say it was awesome.
It was like these gay hairdressers in London. I think they had a great time. They're
Oh
really
yeah, it was only
hot.
it was at one, they didn't tour the country. It was only at one place. You had to go see it there. Yeah, dude, that's right. And the guy that directed Chernobyl was the director of it. Yeah,
Whoa.
Swedish dude. Mamma Mia. I wish I would have gone to see that. It's you know what, it wasn't intended to be a single, and
What
then it
wasn't?
blew up. Mamma Mia. They didn't intend it to be a single, and then it blew up. That's so crazy. Do you ever have something that's a surprise hit in your career?
A hit?
Like a surprise, something that became successful that you weren't expecting it to be.
No, all the stuff that I've done is moderately successful, or I'm like a small part in a successful thing, or like, yeah, no, everything's been fine. Everything's been less successful than I thought it was going to be. I have the opposite problem.
Look, this is going to be big for you. You're like, no, it won't. No.
You don't understand how many points in my career I've called my parents and been like, this is it. But then you obviously learn it's like the journey and everything's fun and all the prizes are cool. But yeah, I'm hoping the special's a big hit. There are certain jokes in crowds. I feel like sometimes I'll do a joke and then they'll laugh and I'll be like, I did not think you'd like this one, you know, but that's not an overall hit. It's just like people reacting differently.
100%.
Like there was a crowd that didn't react well to Luigi Mangione, and then they laughed so hard at my school shooting joke I did, and I was like, I called them out. I go, that's like weird of you guys.
Is Luigi Mangione the most attractive
Yes.
assassin of all time?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't. What was the guy that killed like Archduke Franz Ferdinand? He was pretty good looking, right?
Yeah, but like I said, people are just hotter nowadays.
Aren't they? I mean, dude, I'm 45 and I don't feel like I'm 40. I don't feel or look 40. I think there's a difference in aging.
Blonde hair, Josh. Yeah, you don't feel 45.
You know what I mean. You know what I mean. My dad's 45 was different than my 45.
Yeah, but they had rougher lives.
That's true. That's true. All right, let's talk. So Fernando is
I like all your questions bouncing off of the things.
Thank you very much. Imagine if I prepared more.
I don't work with anyone well. I've never had a hit, and I don't know what to tell you.
Questions are like your answers are just like you're like. I love it, dude. Fernando.
It's just different comedy. It's just like so different comedy and music.
You've done a lot of really cool shit, though.
Oh, my life's been amazing. Like when I look back on everything I've done, like if I look at my IMDb, I'm like the coolest person I know for sure. Like I feel very cool. Even when I walk to the Comedy Cellar, I'm like, wow, I'm living the coolest life you could ever live. I can't believe it. I'm a comic in New York. I have exposed brick in my apartment. Like it's amazing. I've worked with Steve Buscemi, Alan Alda. Like I've worked with cool people. I'm in a Jordan Peele movie. Like everything's fun, but nothing. Yeah, I have a good time. It just is not translated in respect, money, or stability.
Understand.
But that's fine, which is fine.
You might have a dancing queen. You don't know. You might still have a dancing queen in you.
Yeah. Well, I filmed a cool movie this past summer, and it's an indie, but I'm hoping it becomes cool because it was. I think it's good. Like I hope.
Is this the one you get
that I keep talking about and bringing up? Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. Oh, that's going to be so awesome. That's going to be so awesome.
Comedy horror, like so. Yeah, it was good. So.
You never know. That could be
Well, because you know what the directors said? They said usually when you make stuff, you have a vision in your head, and every day, like, it gets chipped away and it gets not what you want more and more, and you have to
Yeah.
keep. And he goes, "This was the opposite." He goes, "Everything has been better than I could have ever
I
imagined."
love that.
So
I love that.
it's like cool to
Um,
hear.
dude, I mean, that's all you want is, to be on a project that you're like, okay, like this is good. And then you're like, as you're doing it, you're like, holy shit, this is way better. And the actors and the locations, everything just came together perfectly. And for a movie that's really difficult because there's so many moving pieces that need to make it perfect. That's why when you watch a Tarantino film or a Spielberg film, you're like, dude, it's to get that the way it is, it's like you're talking,
Well, and
hundreds of millions of dollars.
that's just one person, but like a lot of the best usually work with the same DP, the
Yeah,
same like crew for decades too. It's just like such a team effort.
sure. No, totally. And
So detail oriented. That's the thing. Like that's why leading a thing, being a director seems like a nightmare. Like props, the details of everything, it's like so incredible.
yeah. God damn, please cast me in something, people out there. I want to be an actor. I want to like. There's this guy that's an executive at like one of the networks. I'm not going to say who, and he's gay, and I think he has a crush on me. So I'm like, dude, come on, dude, put me in. Put me. I want to play a
Put me
cop
in,
on something,
coach.
dude.
Put me
What do
in,
you need me to
coach.
do? What do you need me to do?
I know. And with music too, like I don't hear so much, but since I've become sorry, but like a Taylor Swift person, then I went down the rabbit hole of like YouTube started feeding me videos of like the history of songs, and then it's
Yeah.
like all about the studio time and the little fixes and like just how songs are made. Billie Eilish is so cool with that, and all the mixing and details and moments, and that's been so cool to see because I'm tone deaf, I can't really notice or hear or appreciate. But then seeing people making the songs in the studio has been like a fun YouTube for me.
Oh, I would love to watch a video on how ABBA made some of their music. I bet you there's stuff online because it's like
there's one on Gimme Gimme that I just think is so it got me really geeked out and excited about this band.
What is it?
The way that with the piano thing with a like the way they just like it's like an 11-minute watch on YouTube, but it's fucking phenomenal. Yeah.
I think is Dancing Queen their biggest hit?
I bet, yeah.
Yeah.
Ranked number 286 on Rolling Stone magazine's list of the 500 greatest songs of all time. Conceived as a dance song with the working title Boogaloo, they drew inspiration from the 1974 George McRae disco hit Rock Your Body. Came up with the title Dancing Queen after several months working on the track. Arguably the world's first Europop disco hit. It was released the same time as Fernando, but Fernando was chosen as the single. But they also knew this was going to be a hit. This was the only ABBA 14.
All their songs just got like start like that, like brings you in. You're like in their world immediately.
Yeah. I mean, Dancing Queen is one of the bigger wedding songs. Like that was one of the songs that if I was DJing anybody's like any bar mitzvah, any wedding, you could put that on. And
wait, have you? I don't know if you've talked about. Okay, if this was your wedding and you can only pick one artist for the whole wedding,
for the whole night,
yes, one. Not a good question.
Rammstein. If I gotta go, I'm going Rammstein.
No,
I want German goth death taco techno. Just, all right, let's get everybody up here for the cutting of the cake. Ich bin Tag mich Bach für Scheiße. Singing fake German might be my favorite thing in the world. I think you can still get away with just making it up and people don't give a shit. Is that racist to sing fake German?
No.
I don't think so either. Money.
When you guys are the main architects of, the Holocaust, you can get made fun of.
100%. 100%. Money.
You know what else I want to give some ABBA love to?
Go ahead.
Outfits, coordination, like cool glitter, spandex, like
There's a reason
I'm
for
into
it.
that.
It's a tax-based reason in the facts that we have here, Josh. That
what do you got?
They were widely noted for the colorful and trend-setting costumes its members wore. The reason for the wild costumes was Swedish tax law. The cost of the clothes was deductible only if they could be worn, could not be worn other than for performances.
Yeah, that's true in America too. If you were wondering, like, because I always think, like, yeah, dude, because I'm constantly buying clothes, being like, write this off, and my accountants are like, you can't. You
Dude,
can't
like,
write
look
off.
at this outfit. I'm wearing this for Halloween. Hold on.
What do you got?
I'll show these to you. Like, these are insane.
This is them?
Yeah. I have like a split screen. I'm like looking at stuff as we're recording. But like this pink heart outfit? Are you kidding?
Cut out in the belly button.
That's so cool. These these animals. I love it.
It looks like somebody bedazzled that. Like somebody's grandma was like, "You got a big concert tonight, so I made you these jackets."
Yeah, you spend more, but then you write it all off. Wow.
Yeah. You know that? So I saw this fact under "Take a Chance on Me." Senator John McCain, rest in peace, is a huge ABBA fan, and after being elected as a Republican candidate for the 2008 presidential elections, he vowed to have ABBA songs played in elevators all over the White House if elected. I love that. McCain apparently pumps himself up by listening to the song "Take a Chance on Me" at full volume before making a big speech. God, do you remember when the most right somebody was John McCain? You know what I mean? When he was the face of the Republican Party. Good Lord, it's changed. ABBA? Who would have thought that? When he was in the Japanese internment camp or Vietnamese, he was in his head. He's just like, Friday night when the lights are low, coming up for a place to go.
Yeah, like if you're out and about and a song starts playing and you're not into it, you gotta go to therapy. You gotta do DMT. Like you have to transcend because it's your spirit. It's too dark.
Have you done that? Have you done DMT?
I did.
And
I had a good time. It was like with my friends and
a good time. You had a good time. I didn't think that's
only
what you were
one
supposed
friend
to
had
have.
a bad time. So it also like doesn't last long. It's like under 5 minutes, and so it was like a group of 5 of us, maybe 6, but we would each go. My friend had beaded curtains, so each one of us one at a time would go into his room, and then because you kind of like pass out, and then you'd have one friend, and you pick the music you wanted, and then they would leave you in the room, and then each of us did it once, and then we all did it together in the living room, and then that was it. But then one of my but I basically had like colorful, glittery, tubing object cities, like things moving and like memories from my childhood. And I picked Al Green for my music and loved it. The second time it felt so good. I had to open my eyes to like remind myself the world is here, and all my friends were like twitching. But one of them, he came out and he started like smoking cigarettes in the bathtub out the window and was like feeling stressed, but didn't say anything, which is like a nice person because he knew other people were going to trip. Yeah. But he said it was the worst experience of his life and that he felt what he experienced was being tied down to a table and was about to be tortured, and there was nothing he could do about it.
Oh, shit.
Sign me up. God.
He was
that's so scary.
I was just having like neon color glittery cities of inanimate like object things, having like a good time.
I mean,
and my body felt good, and that was it.
I mean, that scares me because I know that that's what's released when you die, they say. So it's kind of like, oh, this is what it's going to be like. And I'm like, dude, I don't really even know if I want to know.
Well, that's also theories. That's theories.
Sure. It's still pretty scary though. But I mean,
but yeah, my friend going to be tortured. I mean, not to like ruin the mood fully, but there is a documentary and I'll get the name of it, but it's like, you know, an Elon Musk kind of rich guy who likes trinkets and space and whatever. Yeah. And this came out like I watched it during the submersible explosion time, but basically this guy made submarines and then he fucking brought a woman down there and murdered her in the submarine.
No.
Oh, shit.
And how did he get rid of her
DMT?
body?
What? Not on DMT.
Oh, okay.
For real. She was a journalist, and like, you know, pieces of her it's so fucked up, but he tortured her, but like can you imagine like not being able to escape, but you're in a submarine, there's nowhere to go? That's like horrific.
That is so scary.
Yeah.
All right, on a lighter note. Yeah, I want to do these 2 facts and then we'll wrap this shit up. Gimme
If you want to see it, it's called Into the Deep.
Ooh,
The
I like that
submarine
title.
murder case. It's a Swedish journalist bringing it back.
There we go. Fuck yeah, staying on topic. Gimme. One of ABBA's biggest international
But also,
hits.
sorry to interrupt. This is a bad quality I have. I forgot this element. Like the crew was there filming a different documentary, and then all of this started to happen.
Oh, no shit.
Something like that. Like, this horrified me. Yeah, I think I blocked a lot of it out. I will not interrupt again.
No, please. It's if you have any other murder documentaries in the middle of an ABBA discussion, please feel free. You're like, did you see the one about the Golden Gate Bridge where people jump off of it?
That one I always remember the rocker guy.
Yeah, the guy at the end that dies. He's all black metal and he keeps walking around. That's how it ends. Yeah. God damn, dude. That's one of my favorite ones that Angelo told me about is about gay dudes. It's called gift giving. Is that some gay guys don't feel like they're fully gay unless they have AIDS. And so it's called giving the gift. It's I don't know whether there's a documentary.
There's a New York Times article about it. Oh no, it's actually just normal gift giving.
Okay. It's like how to have your Christmas present of AIDS.
I just Googled gift giving. Like, why would I think it would give me
the first
AIDS
one?
Thing?
Like, we're talking about AIDS, of course.
What is wrong with me?
Hilarious. I think this is very interesting. The winner takes all. Bjorn and Agnetha separated after Bjorn wrote another song about divorce, The Winner Takes All, which became a big hit for the group in 1980. And that song isn't entirely about their split, but it was still a little awkward for Agnetha, who had to sing a song about divorce written by her ex-husband. So they broke up. Did you find out, Jeremiah, why all the marriages ended? Did you find that out at all?
Well, one was amicable and the other was not. So it just said they grew apart. They were together for 10 years, touring, making music together. Perfectionism, all that I think led to them, not lasting.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that it actually went 10 years.
It was pretty long.
10 years.
No, and then being rich forever without working, is that not the true dream of life? Like, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
really, I love that.
How much? Find out how much they're worth. Like, find out exactly how much.
I would love to be a one-hit wonder. Like, this idea of like foreverness is so crazy. Like, I don't know. Like, they're the luckiest band of all time. We love them decades later. Never had to work again.
The band all in.
Here's a hologram.
Yeah,
exactly. They don't even have to tour. $1.1 billion is the band overall, but each member is worth between $200 and $300 million.
Sure.
And the musical. Then the musical movie.
Printing money with the movie. The
sequel. I mean, it's just like, it's incredible.
The success in the U.S. is more mild, but they had 20 songs that placed on the Billboard 100 in their brief. Oh, not 10 years, 8 years together. In 8 years, wow. They have that many hits. Really impressive. Really, it's definitely you can't really put it into words. Is just like there are these little lightning in a bottle bands that just come in and just take over. And I mean, they're still getting 38 million monthly listeners on Spotify. Still, they're still in the top 20, which is insane. That's crazy. With Bad Bunny out there. I
love that. That's huge. Yeah. Hit Me Baby One More Time doesn't make sense, but they're like music first, lyrics later. And because they kept simplifying, I want it that way. Like, what are you talking about? And so it's like, but that's later. It's just like, how is it so international? It's like amazing because their lyrics aren't simple. it's like wild storytelling and
Yeah,
cool stuff and international still, like not simplified.
very.
But that's another Swedish thing. It's just like so international.
Yeah, I think it's just, you know, they're
So
disco
special.
disco and dance music has always been, you know, EDM, if you want to call that, which this is like the beginning of it in a sense. Like it's always been bigger in around the world than in America. And I'm not saying that it's not popular here, because they are very popular here, but there is people dance in other countries. In America, it's like, you know, people are like, that's gay. Like guys don't dance in America. But in every other country, the fucking toughest guy. You ever seen that video of that like Viking guy? Try to find the dancing. Have you seen it, Liza?
With the
No.
big handlebar.
Find the dancing Viking where he like pushes a guy out of the way, and then he just dude. That's how we end this podcast. Find the dancing Viking.
Again, not to bring up the Puritans again, but that's why we're not, you know.
I know.
Out there dancing.
Wait till you see the dancing Viking.
So scary.
Bono said in the documentary "The Winner Takes All" about ABBA. ABBA have a pure joy to their music, and that's what makes them extraordinary. There's a joy. He's right.
Who said that? Who said that?
Bono did.
Wow, that's so concise and perfect. Yeah, it's like pure joy, fun.
All right, what's your favorite song off this record?
Off the definitive collection? Is there a lot of like greatest hits on the albums? It seems like a funny thing, doesn't it?
This is everything. And you can pick any ABBA song and it's on here. But let's cut that part out so people don't think that well, yeah, because this is everything that they've ever done that's like a hit. Everything.
That's what you sent me.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, but what did I say that we have to cut? Like I'm not understanding what I did wrong.
You didn't do anything wrong. No, just that I want them to think that, you know, that we're talking specifically about the record.
I know what record.
Oh, the definitive collection.
Yeah, but the fact that it's the definitive collection is funny, right? How many definitive collections are on the top 500?
A lot. You'd be surprised.
I guess that's my question.
Yes. This has been a discussion on the podcast for many years. Or should the greatest hits be on the 500 greatest albums list? Like we just did. It's funny that we're talking about her earlier. We just did Immaculate Collection by Madonna.
It's so
which is such a great record. But there's only 2 new songs on it. There's Justify My Love and then the other one. But it's everything. It's Borderline. It's Papa Don't Preach. It's not living on a prayer.
Like a prayer.
Like a prayer. Yeah. So I think
that's actually like when people are like Deserted Island one song. I Like a Prayer. Like a Prayer does get me going. You know, the joke is like Sweet Caroline gets like white people going. Yeah. Like a Prayer, I'll get up. There's no way I'm sitting. If I hear that song, like I'm like a moth to the flame. That's my song for sure.
I love that song. It's a great one.
So
Elemental P, my band, does.
But I would never karaoke. It's like too long. It's too long. Okay, so I'm only picking one.
Yeah, pick one. What do you got?
Money, take a chance on me. Okay.
The tone deaf versions of ABBA by Liza Treyger. Take a chance on me. money, dancing queen.
Gimme. How does that one go? I think that one's.
Gimme.
I don't have Spotify. I think it won't play. Maybe. I think I like this one the best.
So good.
I think it's this one.
I'm Mamma Mia through and through.
I think I do think that was my niece's solo too, but
Mamma Mia is everything. Mamma Mia is, I think, one of the best pop songs ever written.
Sing it.
Mamma Mia, come on, let me go. Oh, why don't you forget you? I just love that boom, ding, boom, ding, boom, ding. Look at me now. And I finally lose control. There's a fire within my soul. I have indigestion. Just one look, you're not control everything.
Should I learn this for Moon Towers?
Oh, Mamma Mia.
Why don't you do it for the last song?
I don't know if I think Dancing Queen is better to do that.
Do it more.
Friday night when the lights are low. You can come up and sing. Lekka, I'm scaring Lekka. Lekka dog. Dude, she ate a fucking.
Yeah, it's We Are Dancing Queens won, but it's not our top. So you're picking Mamma Mia. I am just gonna do Gimme.
You know, it's funny. You know, you guys know
How does
Wawa, right?
money go? Money.
Put the money in a rich man's world.
Yeah.
All right. Is there anything on this record that you skip over?
Oh my God.
I think some of the earlier stuff at the beginning, I'm not like a huge fan of it. I'll just say that.
I mean, there's some I don't know. Like,
but there's
your
like
brother. What is that? I don't know.
They're not bad songs. It's just that they're like, I think there's such good hits on here. I don't get tired of the hits, and the other ones that aren't bad, but they're just they are what they are.
That one's fun too.
Yeah. All right. Can you fuck to this record?
Super Trooper.
You think you can fuck to this?
Yeah, I do.
Really?
I do.
It's a little. I don't think you can fuck to like Mamma Mia.
I think it could be on in the background for me. Like, I'm okay with that.
Have you ever? Never mind. I was gonna say, have you ever fucked at a rave? And I was like, but were you a raver?
No, I missed it. I did go nightclubbing, I would say. Like in my late teens, early 20s, I would go nightclub. But I really hated it. I didn't like it, and I did not have fun. But I thought I was the problem. But it's just not for me.
It's just not for you. No, I dig it. I think I look. I'm not saying you can't.
I would just like black out and be wearing heels. Like, I don't know. It's just such a.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot.
It's like I don't shivering in the streets. That's a trend that's never ended. Girls will keep shivering in the streets.
Everybody around the world, they'll be shivering in the streets and shivering in Chicago, shivering in the streets.
What did you?
Look at Lekka.
What did you ask me?
Can you fuck to this?
Oh yeah, I feel like I've had sex to like TV in the background. Like, I think I'm fine if like ABBA is playing. Like, I'm okay.
Okay. No, I'm not. Listen, I'm not saying that it's not.
I wouldn't be like.
You wouldn't put this on to fuck to. If it's on in the background, fine. But I'm saying is, can you put this on with the intention to fuck?
Sex? I don't think it would be like an intentional choice, but I wouldn't like fight it.
Same. What would be your elevator pitch to get someone to listen to this record? Like, how do you sum up this album? Basically, ABBA's complete existence.
If you, oh my God, these questions are like out of control. Ask it one more time.
How do you sum up to somebody who doesn't know, who's never listened to this? How do you get somebody to listen to this record? What do you say to them?
Oh, like, you're on a disco floor, you're 4 drinks in with your favorite friends, and you just want to have a good time and dance, and you don't really need to be good at dancing.
Or that's perfect.
Is it? I'd be like,
look,
glitter fun, pop, perfectionist playing. No, I think I'd be like, you're like a few drinks in, feeling good, the best music that's just like gonna make you want to dance, fun.
I think
with your aunt or with a lover, even though you're against
it. Anybody. This is music. This is music.
The kid, like it is like you could play it at a family party,
if you want to feel
at
good,
a rave, or in like the middle, or like a 6 a.m.
So true.
Like weird party.
This is you could do this on Molly. You could do this
it on a road trip.
A couple of drinks. This is driving.
Molly.
This is a you're literally getting this record and why you should listen to it.
I want to go to the hologram on Molly.
I mean, are they still doing it or is it over?
No, I don't know. I have no idea.
Yes. Tell us about the special one more time. When's it coming out? When can we find it? We'll promote the shit out of it when we get closer too.
Thank you so much. So it is January 28th, Nick Carter from the Backstreet Boys' birthday, actually.
Ooh.
So that's quite exciting. Not planned at all. I also do a fucked up Nick Carter joke in the special. So
I love that.
We'll see. I guess I'm excited. It's it looks cool. I taped it in New York. It's on Netflix January 28th. I'm pumped.
You should be. It's
a cool brand name. It's kind of weird because it's this thing I feel like I've been wanting for so long, or like working towards, and so it like feels good for, and I feel like after I taped it, it felt like a weight lifted off my shoulders.
I can imagine, and you did a great
Yeah,
job.
it's
Yeah, I
done.
mean
I
that.
mostly don't do the like 90% of those jokes I've never done again, and obviously there's some favorites I'm gonna miss, so I've been like keeping them heavy in the rotation. But
I get it.
you know, it's like such a out.
Look, I think you know, because I'm in the same boat. I'm going to record a special this year after 16 years, and it's like you're ready. And I watched it, and it was phenomenal. So I can't wait to see how the world responds to it. And you know, I'm a fan, and you know how much I love you. So thank you so
Oh
much
my
for coming
God.
on, Dom.
Yeah. I'm glad you were there. I wanted it. I didn't want it to be like I'm putting on a pageant. I wanted
Yeah.
it to be how I normally perform.
It felt like that. It
And
really did.
so that's like the vibe I was trying to do.
Dude, you're the ABBA of comedy. You're the fucking ABBA of
I
comedy.
wish. Can you believe it? I mean, that's like the
You're
ABBA.
huge in Denmark, but it's not in America. You're like, I'm enormous in
The ABBA
Scandinavia.
of comedy. The only way to get the ABBA of comedy, like in terms of like passive income, I would say, is to be a Patton Oswalt on The King of Queens.
Yes, yeah. If
A
you're
Ray
if you've done,
Ramon, like a Ray,
yeah,
like if you
yeah.
are on a show that lives forever, like Seinfeld, you know, like they're all working because it's like a fun job to have, but that's the way to get it as a comic. You have to be on a show that gets syndicated.
I gotta go get breakfast. Dude, this was
All
so much
right.
fun. Lise, I love you, baby. Thank you for coming on.
Love you. Thank you. Bye.